Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a breathtaking, headfirst plunge into a highly sensory, deeply emotional European winter journey. We're tracking a young Indian couple, Arohi and Prakhar, as they test their endurance, their budget, and honestly, their entire relationship. Now, I have to tell you right out of the gate, the writing in this travelogue is so incredibly vivid, you can practically feel the frost biting at your cheeks and smell the roasted chestnuts floating in the air. By the time we finish today, I guarantee you're going to find yourself wanting to take this exact trip. But even more than that, you'll feel an undeniable pull to get your hands on this book to experience Arohi's exact words. It really is that transformative.
Right, let's jump in with a profound realization that perfectly anchors the emotional core of this entire journey. Indian cities make you forget yourself. European cities make you face yourself. Think about that for a second. This isn't just about changing time zones, is it? It's about the stark, silent mirror that travel holds up to us. When you strip away all that comforting, chaotic noise of home, what are you left with? That's the deeply psychological hook of this book, and it's exactly why her writing resonates so powerfully.
So here's the game plan. Armed with a €99 Interflix pass, they plotted out this grueling but totally budget-friendly route. Kicking off the departure, braving Berlin, finding romance in Prague, navigating Vienna, surviving Zurich, and finally reaching their ultimate verdict.
First up, Berlin, history and some seriously cold realities.
The author's writing here just completely captures the sensory weight of the city. It's brilliant. She juxtaposes this stunning, towering architecture, like the majestic, rusted, copper-green patina of the Brandenburg Gate, right alongside the cold, dark, inescapable scars of bullet holes left over from World War II. When you read her descriptions, you don't just see the monuments. You literally feel the heavy, textbook history breathing right down your neck.
And this immersive writing extends to their visit to the Holocaust Memorial. The source material describes walking into these waves of gray, rectangular blocks that just drop quickly. The physical space is literally designed to make your body feel completely lost and disoriented. They soberly confront the historical horrors of the Nazi regime, noting how the architecture itself forces you to feel a fraction of that isolating terror. It's a very heavy, very cold day. But then, out of nowhere, magic happens. And this brilliantly illustrates how a sudden, deeply heart-touching moment of simple kindness can just cut right through Berlin's intimidating exterior. Picture this. They're waiting for a freezing 5.5-hour overnight bus, feeling totally defeated, when a young German passenger fully dressed as Santa hands Arohi a piece of warm chocolate. It's tiny, it's fleeting, but the way it's written makes you feel that exact rush of warmth. It's these intensely specific human interactions that make buying this book an absolute must. You experience the emotional whiplash of travel right alongside them.
All right, shaking off the cold, let's move to Prague. Cobblestones and some serious winter romance.
So picture this scene. They check the time. It's 11:45 a.m. They are exactly 16 minutes away from the world-famous astronomical clock. What follows is this frantic, completely breathless run through the ancient cobblestone streets, dragging heavy luggage, just desperately trying to catch this magical midday moment. The suspense the author builds here is fantastic. You are mentally running alongside them, sweating through your winter coat.
Well, they didn't make it. They arrive sweaty, exhausted, and desperately need a restroom, which actually leads them to learn a vital travel hack. Always keep Euro coins handy to buy a quick espresso just to use a restaurant's bathroom. Anyway, they finally return for the 2 p.m. chimes, expecting, 2 bells. But instead, they get 14 deep European bells. It's a hilarious, totally anticlimactic outcome, but beautifully narrated. It really shows that sometimes travel failures become the absolute best memories.
As evening falls, the magic of Prague truly opens up. The author paints this deeply emotional, incredibly cinematic atmosphere of their evening walk across the ancient mist-covered Charles Bridge. The glowing cobblestones, the statues acting as silent guards, the crisp Christmas air, and then this tender, spontaneous kiss. Moments like these are the beating heart of the book. It's not just a travel guide, it's an intimately shared human experience that you just get completely swept up in.
Next stop, Vienna, or Wien, a city of grand royalty, classical music, and some very relatable mishaps. You have this incredible, hilarious contrast between the majestic expectations of Vienna and the chaotic reality of actual travel. They go from this elegant horse carriage ride past royal palaces to later that same day ducking into an underground McDonald's. As a vegetarian Indian couple, Arohi completely panics when her burger wrapper says veg chicken. A tense argument erupts at the counter, classic language barrier stuff, only to be totally diffused when the Austrian cashier speaks them in Hindi, explaining it's just a new soya patty. It's such a relatable moment of culture shock.
And the author uses incredibly vivid writing here to juxtapose the sense of the city. You have the comforting, warm holiday aromas of the Christmas markets, sweet vanilla, hot coffee, roasted nuts, violently clashing with the overpowering, sharp, metallic smell of the closed, Nash-marked meat market that literally makes their eyes water. The ability to put you right there on the street, smelling the air, that's exactly why this travelogue is so insanely captivating.
Our journey reaches its emotional climax in Zurich, lost phones and found kindness.
Imagine standing in a quiet, incredibly strict, unfamiliar country. You pat your pocket and you feel nothing. We've all been there, right? The absolute heart-stopping panic and raw vulnerability of losing their digital lifeline. The phone holding every single photo of their trip was left charging on a bus that has already departed. The writing here is so tense you will literally feel your own pulse race as Prague frantically dumps his bag out onto the cold station tiles.
But here is the crucial point, and it's how they handle this crisis. This is a profoundly heart-touching moment of emotional maturity. Arohi sets aside her own fear, places a gentle hand on Prakar's arm, and calmly says, "We can't change what already happened. Let's keep going." This level of resilience, of true partnership, this is why you need to read this book. It teaches you that travel isn't just about where things go right. It's about who you become when things go horribly wrong.
And you know what? The universe rewards them. Up on the snowy Uetliberg mountain, feeling utterly defeated, they meet a group of local elderly women. These cute, vibrant ladies chat with them and hand them pieces of rich, homemade chocolate. That sweet, simple gesture acts as a blessing. It completely turns their terrible day around and lifts the fog of their stress. It is a stunning, beautiful reminder of human connection.
So, after all of that, let's unpack the final travel verdict.
For those of you taking notes, the author provides some highly effective, totally practical travel tactics. Those €99 Interflix passes, absolute lifesavers for budget overnight travel. Use the 5-spot city rule, meaning see the main sites but skip the endless tourist traps to avoid museum fatigue. Always have those Euro coins ready, book online to avoid freezing in lines, and hey, for vegetarians, sometimes those global fast food chains are your safest, warmest refuge.
But look, beyond the hacks, this whole journey brilliantly illustrates the real value of the trip. They expected travel to simply yield nice photos and beautiful views. But what actually happened, the strictness, the biting cold, and the profound silence of Europe completely stripped away the comforting noise of India. It forced a true coming-of-age transformation. It exposed their internal gaps, taught them deep responsibility, and built this unshakable confidence.
I want to leave you with this incredibly memorable, provocative thought from the very end of the book, the quiet knowledge that you are becoming someone you have never met before. Ask yourself right now, how might stepping out of your own noisy comfort zone reshape who you are? This explainer has just scratched the surface of Arohi and Prakar's journey. The vivid writing, the sensory details, the emotional highs and lows, they possess a magnetic pull that you can only truly feel by reading the source material itself. Do yourself a favor, grab a copy of the book, and experience the transformation for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey today.